Well, on to Justin's main guy, Allen Robinson. I'll go to you first, Justin. I don't think he's going to end up on the Vikings, man. Sorry,
Oh,
but where do you think
I would love
Allen
that.
Robinson is going to end up this offseason? And this is one guy I'm telling you is not going back to the Bears. And his main motivation, in my opinion, is to play with a great quarterback and compete in some playoff games. I think
Yeah,
he's been paid big already. I think he wants to win some games.
yeah. This is the time to get paid or time to win, and you said it, he's time to win, and that's what makes it so hard because all things considered, if they just had a quarterback I can know and trust, the Colts would be ideal for him. They're a dink and dime.
Yeah.
They just want to. And Allen Robinson is that beautiful like PPR. I'm catching it, getting 110 yards, touchdown two. He's a safety blanket wide receiver, which is pretty good to have. But I could still see him signing with the Colts because they can sell him on the defense and the run game. And if he can just be that number one, which he is, then beautiful. But I kind of also see him going to the Dolphins because they have some play in that division too. And
Joe's favorite team.
if that whole Tua Deshaun Watson things goes down, even more of a reason for him to go to the Dolphins. But I can't decide Colts or Dolphins, but I feel one of them too.
The funniest thing is, I had those two teams. That was it. My mentality was if the Colts go out and get Wentz, they're gonna go out and try to get him, and kind of finish off that pairing. You have Michael Pittman Jr., but he hasn't established himself yet. You've got some other young guys. Nobody's really taking that leap forward. T.Y. Hilton's likely out the door. You go and get Allen Robinson. He's a great fit with Carson Wentz. But part of me said he's going to end up back in Florida. He played in Jacksonville for a lot of years, right? And what do we know? We know that Miami was the best defense or top 2-3 defense in the league last year. But we know that their wide receivers, Devontae Parker, ended up getting banged up. Preston Williams ended up getting banged up. They were throwing the ball to like 5-6 different guys, and none of them were that great. So why not go get yourself an Allen Robinson? I think they're ahead of the curve with where we expected them to be, and Allen Robinson kind of pushes them forward. So I like both of those. I was on the money. I agree.
Hey, is there any chance he goes back to Jacksonville? Probably not. But
not a chance.
No, he wants to compete right away. I mean,
well,
they'll be good.
I will say this. Here's my actually, guys. Again, I'll say his name one more time because I feel like it's plagiarism sometimes if I say it without mentioning his name. According to Scott Thompson, he is the highest valued wide receiver on the market. He's looking at about $20 million. I mean, this guy's coming off 102 catches, 1,250 yards, and 6 touchdowns. 2 years ago, I remember I didn't go to the draft. A lot of you guys did. And I remember that was one of the first times I met Justin here. I had known you guys for obviously a long time. And you guys were roasting Justin for picking this guy up so early. And that was 2 seasons ago. He's been solid for 2 straight seasons now. I had a few shares of him this season, and he was one of my most consistent players. And that was, guess what? With Mitchell Trubisky and Nick Foles, right?
Yeah.
He didn't have the best options. He was on CBS Sports Talk Radio like 2 days ago, and he was on record going as saying he has not ruled out returning to the Bears or returning to Jacksonville. He's happy open to it. He's not burning any bridges.
Well, the guy wants to get paid. That's the best way to get paid.
I mean, they're the highest valued wide receiver on the market.
Jacksonville's a possibility, man. Because
Jacksonville's got $70 million. Yeah, I'm open to it. You know, wouldn't you be?
Like, who cares, right?
I don't think Jacksonville, because that team just needs other. They're awful. They have. If I look at that team, I have a receiver, I have a running back. Let's go fix defense and offensive line. I don't think they're blowing up for a wide receiver at all.
And he's just a little too old for the timeline. I could see them going and getting a wide receiver, but just, I don't know. He's not a great. You never know. They might just give their rookie a blanket. But Jacob, I was going to ask you too. You said he's not going back to the Bears. I wasn't sure, but it sounds like they've clarified he is up. I've heard that the Bears are in talks to get Wentz also, and it's kind of between the Bears and the Colts at this point. I could see.
So there was controversy earlier on this past season where Allen Robinson, something with his Twitter where he removed all things Bears off his Twitter, and he made some remarks and implying that he wasn't happy there. So that's why I just think that
He was going through a mid-season crisis. Everybody,
I thought that was. I thought he wanted a long-term contract, and they told him basically we'll talk after the season.
Well, yeah. So I mean, that's the thing, though. What if he's like, "Oh yeah, we'll see," and he just walks? You know, like
could be.
I think Justin's right about the Colts. I think the Colts, because the Colts are going to address their quarterback situation. I mean, whether it's maybe it's resigning Jacoby Brissett, whatever, or maybe it's letting their rookie play, and who knows, maybe he's really good, or they bring in Carson Wentz. Whatever the case is, I think he can get paid however much he needs to get paid, and he can compete right away. Because you're not going to go to a losing situation if you're in his shoes at that point in his career. So
yeah,
I definitely think that would be a good option. But crazy scenario, what if the Bucs do not re-sign Chris Godwin or Antonio Brown? They could sign Allen Robinson.
Oh yeah,
that would be crazy. But
I don't think they want that though. Him and Mike Evans.
I think they'd rather sign a bunch of pieces to give them more depth rather than just add Allen Robinson. You know.
Yeah.
I will tell you this: I'm trolling the Reddit Chicago Bears forums, and a lot of them are saying it doesn't matter what he wants. Either we sign him or we franchise him. So. He might just stick to the Bears, but for fantasy reasons, it seem like awesome.
Franchise tag is BS, to be honest. In my opinion,
come over here this way.
Let me also
see you if you come over here.
Let me also correct the record.
Cut that part out, Jacob. My bad. I thought I was muted.
Let me correct the record, Gabe. They didn't troll me because I drafted him early. They just trolled me for drafting him. I picked him up in the 9th and the 10th. Okay, that's how you win leagues right there. Allen Robinson, I love you, my man. You're the best.
Well, I am forever on board with your,
And guys, just one thing. Money, yes, sure. These guys are vets. They want to win. Okay, $18 million playing for Kansas City is just as good as $20 million playing for the Jets. But $10 million playing for Kansas City is not worth $20 million playing for the Jets. Mm-hmm. These guys are going to go where the money is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But it just comes down to, yes, if I have to take a few million pay cut to go where I want to go, I'll do it, you know. So, and things like state taxes and stuff like that, so.
That is a great point. All right, so arguably, or Gabe, did you have any predictions for Allen Robinson?
No, I'm good.
You don't think where he? You don't have
I think he probably stays with the Bears.
Choose one for each receiver.
Just throw out a team.
I think he stays with the Bears, probably on a franchise tag, or he signs big with Jacksonville.
I hope that doesn't happen.
Totally speculation, though.
The franchise tag is BS, and it's just boring. They stay there. They can leave again next year.